So how to set your core, I'll explain to you right now. So make sure your feet are on the mat, knees are bent, pelvis is in that middle position. Your core muscles are right on the bottom of that pelvis. Find the bony bits of your pelvis, slide in just a little bit, press down just a little gentle, and then pull those core muscles up and down and try to hold them like that. So try to see if you can feel something under your fingertips. If so, that's great. If not, try to imagine that you pull it up a little bit more and then tuck your belly button in gently, set your shoulder blades, and that's the starting position for Pilates. Hi everybody, here we are, week 10, can't believe it, but there we go. Hope that everybody's still enjoying it, all the classes and all the videos, and do it a couple of times during the week if you have time for it, that'll be great. Anyway, let's start. So close your eyes. And make sure that the weight is right in the middle of both feet. Your knees are slightly bent. Find your pelvis. Make sure that your pelvis finding, that's not that difficult, but find those core muscles right at the bottom of that pelvis. Pull those core muscles up. Tuck that belly button in gently. Set your shoulders together down towards your low back. And first of all, really concentrating on those muscles around your stomach and shoulders. Shift that weight from one side to the other. Well done, and then shift that weight to the front and back. Try to relax those arms, let them dangle while you go to the front and back. Holding those core muscles turned around your stomach, and don't forget the ones around your shoulder blades. And then combine these last two movements with little circles going one way. Still with your eyes closed, concentrate on your body. And then circle the other way around. And then set that weight again right in the middle of both feet. Now make sure those knees are not pushed back but just slightly bent. And then loosen up your low back by tilting that pelvis all the way to the front and back. Slow, little, big movements. And then make the movements smaller so that you end up in your middle position. Double check that those core muscles are still up, belly button still tucked in, shoulders are still together, down towards your low back. That peach lift your chin up, and that string making you sure that you're standing tall. Hands on your ribcage. Deep breath in and out. In your own breathing rhythm. Flare that ribcage into your hands. And then gently breathe out, holding those core muscles still turned. And then one more time. And relax. Well done. Good. Open your eyes. And then move your arms halfway and back. Lift up one heel and back. Lift up the other heel and back. Good. And then both heels up and down. Moving those shoulders, get those muscles loose, muscles around your ankles looser, and then stay onto your toes. And relax. Well done. Now same thing, eyes closed. Lift your heels up. I feel I'm getting worse and worse each week with my balance. And relax. Well done. Hands behind your back. Lock your shoulders down and then a gentle stretch to one side. And now look into that same armpit. Shorter time, never do this too long, about 15 seconds. just because of all the nerves and blood supply to your head are there. And then relax. Stretch out the other side. And then look into this armpit. And then relax your head back in the middle position. Now we're going to stretch the same thing, but see if you can get a lot further. Bring that ear closer to your shoulder. And then the same to the other side, last side. Make sure those centers are still set around your stomach, still pulled up. And relax. Well done. First one is going to be the stepping back, and then we're going to add a circle as well. So you're going to step back with one leg. You're going to bring that knee what's behind you down towards the floor. Just go down as far as you comfortably can. Same thing with the other side. Centers are set. And again, in your own rhythm, in your own time, go down as deep as you can. I can feel my legs are a little bit tired. The first 4K run yesterday, so it was lovely. And now we're going to add a big circle with your arms. And step back, big circle. Step back, big circle. Well done. And then each leg one more time. And relax. Well done. Good. Next one is swimming. So you're going to bend your knees. You're going to lean forward. Centers are set. Arms are in front of you. We're going to start first with sliding one leg behind you and come back. Add your opposite arm. And now see if you can do that movement with your leg in the air. And then end up with your toes on the floor. Lift that leg up. Bring your hands now by your hips. Lifts from your hip. Centers are still set. Tuck that belly button in. And then little pulses in the air. And relax. Good. We're going to do the same on the other side. So bend your knees, lean forward with those centers set. Arms in front. And then slide this leg now behind you and come back. Add your opposite arm. And then same as we did on the other side. See if you can do movement in the air. Last one like this. Hands now down towards your hips, toes on the floor, and lift that leg straight up. Work those muscles around your stomach. And then little pulses in the air. Hold on to something if you feel you need to. And relax. Well done. Good. Next one is going to be the clamp. So, in front, hands on your hips, on tiptoes on one side. And first of all, we're going to loosen up that low back in that sideways movement. Nice and high hip, hike that hip up. And then set your pelvis in your middle position. Stay onto your toes. And then open up and close. And then see if you can and want to, see if you can do that same movement in the air. Well done, good. Going to the other side, onto your toes on this side. Drop this hip down and hike it up. Well done, and then set that pelvis in your middle position. Open up and close that knee. And again, if you can on this side, lift your foot up away from the floor, sorry. Well done, last one. Go back to the first leg, so onto your toes, lift that leg up, open up and slide that leg away. Feet back together and pull that knee in. So open up and away. Again, in your own rhythm. And then last one on this leg. Oops. And then the same on this side. So immediately lift that leg up if you can. Like I said, if you need to hold on to something, please do. And then open that clam up. Slide your leg away into the air. And then last one. And relax. Well done. Good. Next one is going to be the foot series. So looking straight forward. So all the weight onto one leg. Centers are set. Bring one foot in the front. Back to the center. To the side. Back to the center. Behind you. Back to the center and to the side. Same movements, but now we're going to go away from the floor. Forward. Sideways. Behind you. And sideways. Same movements again, but see if you now can hold that foot in the front. Back to the center, to the side. Back to the center, behind you. And last one with this leg to the side. And relax. Well done. Centers are still set, doing the same thing on the other side. Forward, center, side, center, behind you. And to the side. And now away from the floor, forward, sideways, behind you, and sideways. Now try to hold that foot in the front. Back to the center, sideways and hold. Back to the center behind you for the last time and hold. And then last one to the side and hold. And relax. Well done. Relax those ankles a little bit. Good. Now spread your legs apart a little bit. Slight knee bend. We're going to do side kicks. So first, all the weight onto one leg. Centers are set. Lift that leg up and down. And then 2 more. Good. Shift your weight. Do the same with the other side. Last one. Well done. Back into that little squat. Lift up one arm. And now you're going to kick your opposite leg out. Back into that squat and out again. Back into that squat and out again. Push yourself up to the ceiling. Up and up. And then squat down. And then push yourself back up again. Well done. And then each side one more time. There's the first one and there's the last one. And relax. Good. Roll those shoulders loose. Next one is going to be the one leg circle. So all the weight into one leg. Tone your leg muscles. Keep that knee slightly bent. One leg in front. And then half a circle behind. And back to the front. First couple over the floor. And then if you can, in the air. And then last circle to the front and back. Well done. Hold those centers set. Let's do the same on the other side. So half a circle. First couple over the floor, then in the air. Try to hold that balance. And then last one, oops, to the front and back and relax. Good. Next one is the twist and touch. So arms are now in front of you. We're going to twist all the way from around off your ankles. Full body twist to, sorry, I start to the right side, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Bring one hand down, other hand up to the ceiling. Starting position and now to the left, right, left, right. Other hand down and come back. Each side one more time, to the right, left, right, left. Make sure it's a full body twist from your ankles. And then last one, to the left, right, and bring this hand down and come back up. Good, last one in standing is a deep squat. So have your arms in front of you, kick your bottom out and squat down. Stay there. And come back up. Now see if you can do the same thing with your eyes closed. Squat down and stay. Hold that squat. And come back up. 2 more of those. Try it with your eyes closed. Feel where your body is in space. Squat down and stay. And come back up. And then 1 more. Squat down and stay. And come back up. Well done. Good. Now we're going to go to this end of the mat. Make sure that your band is by the towel. And here we go, onto the end of the mat. And we're going to start with a slight, slow roll down. For the ones with the osteoporosis or osteopenic, make sure you're against the wall. And slide those arms up as high as you can. Try to keep that contact with your whole arm. Really working all those muscles and keeping that spine straight. For the rest of us, you must be down there now, so stay, stretch yourself out, relax your head and arms, and then slowly come back up. In the end, open up your collarbones. And there we go again. Roll down. Gently stretch yourself out. Go as far down as you can. And then walk yourself slowly up onto the mat, where we're going to start with our famous plank. Again, get yourself ready. Slide one leg away. Centers are set around your tummy and around your shoulders again. Breathe in, breathe out, and there we go. 1.5 minutes, or as long as you can handle this. Try to have your hands together in front of you. So yeah, and your elbows are right on your shoulders. Make sure you're not sinking down too far to the mat or not up too high with your bottom into the air. Try to stay in that same position for that 1.5 minutes. There's 30 seconds done, so just a minute to go. Just a minute. There's no animals coming. Patches. Patch. She's passed out in the conservatory, nice and warm. Sandy, does Sandy want to come? Sandy, who's here? We passed a minute. Doesn't look like any of the animals want to come. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. Try to stay up there. Now really make sure you're not sinking down or lifting that bottom up into the air. Couple of seconds to go. And there you are. Well done. Stretch yourself out. Forehead down towards the mat. And try to get your bottom as close as you can. Get it towards your ankles. depending on what your knees allow you to. And then onto your knees. Sit down and roll those shoulders loose. Roll them the other way around. Good, and then we're going to start work the next plank. Now with your arms straight. Again, slide one leg away. Breathe in, double check your centers, breathe out and lift the other leg. There we go, we're starting with this push-ups. Go as far down as you can. But again, make sure you're not sinking down too much like that or having that bottom up too high. Just try to stay in that plank position. Good, now lift up one leg straight up. Same with the other. Hold those muscles around your shoulders nicely toned. And then step aside. Pull that knee in. Step aside and pull that other leg in. Keep on going. Concentrate on that breathing. And there we are, there's that minute. Lift up one arm and back. Lift up the other arm and back. Back to those little push-ups, if you want to. Lift up one leg. Hold those shoulder muscles toned. Nearly done, 5 seconds to go. And then we're going to try lifting up one arm and back, lifting up the other arm. And there we are, well done. Give yourself a good stretch. Forehead down towards the mat. And then onto your knees so you can roll your shoulders loose. Good, then we're going to start on our back first, where we're going to start with the one leg circle. So knees are bent, core is up, pulled up towards that belly button is tucked in, shoulders are together, down towards that low back, and then lift up one leg, up to the ceiling, and then start with small circles. And then make those circles as big as you can, but your aim is to hold that pelvis on the mat. Keep that pelvis in that middle position, that little space is still there by your low back. Only little, not that much. Your middle position. Hold that control around your pelvis. Have your hands on your hips so you feel what that pelvis is doing. And then circle the other way around. And then one more circle, and then lower this leg down. Double check those centers around your tummy and around your shoulders. Lift the other leg up and start circling one way. And make that circle again as big as you can. And then circle the other way around. You can hold that control around your stomach. And then last circle with this leg. Pull both of those knees into your chest, have a lovely stretch. And then lower one leg down, lower the other leg down. Now we're going to do both legs at the same time. Really important that you hold those centers set around your tummy. Straighten out one leg, add the other leg, ankles and knees together. Start with small circles. Get used to your breathing rhythm now. So breathe out when those legs are down towards the floor. Breathe in when they go over your belly button. Try to concentrate on that sideways movement. So lift up one cheek off the mat and then lift up the other cheek off the mat. And then breathe out when those legs are down. Breathe in when they come over your belly button. So I have to keep myself up on that mat. I'm always going down. And then let's circle the other way around. Watch those shoulders, keep them on the mat as well. You must hear yourself doing good breathing. Out when those legs are down. Good sideways movements for one more time. And then last circle. Well done. And pull those knees into your chest for a little rest. And the next one's going to be the shoulder bridge. So the ones who have an extra towel, take that extra towel away from your head. Lower your feet down onto the mat. Get them as close as you can get them towards your body. So hands on your hips. Centers are still set. And first of all, just lift that pelvis up. Squeeze in your buttocks and all the way down. And lift it up again. And all the way down. Now go in that middle position. So a nice part, first part of the bridge. Hands on your hips. Drop that pelvis down. And push it back up towards the ceiling. Elbows away or arms up to the ceiling. Up to you. Whichever one you prefer. Still those little pulses. And then keep yourself into that bridge position. Now a very slow movement, touching the side of your pelvis on the mat. Back to the middle position and a very slow one to the other side. Make sure you're doing it very slowly. Getting used to that twisting movement. With those core muscles still lovely toned. And then each side one more time. Make sure it's just that pelvis what's twisting, your knees and your trunk staying, the rest of the trunk stay in the same position. Good, now we're going to lift up one set of toes and the other set of toes. Still holding that bridge. Holding that pelvis up there. Good, and now lift up one heel and lift up the other heel. Good, and then do that walking movement. So one set of toes up at the same time, opposite heel up. And then the other set. Walk those feet. Keep that pelvis in that same position. Good, and then end up with your feet back into that middle, in flat on the mat. Now push those knees together and push them apart. Push them together and apart. Still holding that pelvis in that middle position. Good work for those big muscles around your buttocks. Good, and then last one with your knees apart and then back into that middle position. Now lower yourself all the way down and give that low back a nice stretch with bringing those knees towards your chest. And then we're going to go back to the shoulder bridge. So feet again close towards your body, centers are set, hands on your hips, lift that pelvis up, elbows away from the mat or arms up to the ceiling, or if you just prefer keeping your arms on the mat, up to you. See if you can lift up one leg into that 45-degree angle. Come back, lift it into that with the other leg, 45-degree angle. Whichever way you want to have your arms on the mat, on your hips, elbows away, or up to the ceiling, again up to you. Good. Now, after this one, making sure that you hold that pelvis in that middle position, into the 45-degree angle position first, and then up to the ceiling, down to 45. Up to the ceiling, down to 45. Keep this nicely toned the whole time. And then do the same on the other leg. If you just want to lift that leg up to the ceiling once or twice or 3 times, up to you. As long as you do the same on the other side. Centers are set. Now, when you lift that leg in that 45-degree angle, slide it out and back in. Out and back in. Try not to compensate with pushing that pelvis all the way to the other side. Hold that pelvis in that same position, just challenging those core muscles in that sideways movement. And then see if you can do the same on the other side. So 45-degree angle, slide it out and back in. Arms up to the ceiling, hands on your hips, elbows away, or arms on the mat, up to you. Obviously arms on the mat are a little bit easier. And this side is definitely more difficult to do for me. A lot more wobbly, need to work on this one. And the last one. Ooh, well done. And then lower those legs down, pull those knees again into your chest, and have a lovely stretch. Good, and then lower both of your legs back down. Last one on our backs is going to be that bicycle movement. So you're going to have one leg up in the tabletop position, hold your core and those big stomach muscles, add the other leg, and now straighten that leg out and come back in. Watch those shoulders. Make sure they're not all the way up there. Keep them down onto the mat. Good. And then last one with this leg. Put that leg now in the tabletop position. Slide the other leg down towards the floor and come back up. You don't have to go all the way down towards the floor. You can just go halfway. Make it as difficult as you want to. Or should try to go to. Good, last one. And then pull both of those knees into your chest. Now I'm going to be really nice. So this is why I told you to have the band by your head. So grab the band now, place it on the bottom of one foot, add the other. You're going to keep both of your legs straight like that. Have one foot on the outside. And now you're going to straighten that leg down and back up. Down and back up. So the reason why I'm saying I'm nice to you this week is that because otherwise we do this sometimes without the bend, and that's quite difficult. So if you want to try it without the bend, up to you, absolutely fine. Try to keep that leg straight, down towards the floor, and just concentrate on that trunk position. Make sure it's not arching. Keep that little space there, don't make it bigger. Quite big demand on your stomach muscles here. And then last one down and back up. And then come, change sides, other foot out of the loop and lower this one down and back up. Looking good. Hope it's not too difficult, this one. 2 more. Last one. And relax. Well done. Put that band away and now top it by the end of your feet. So we have it for the stretching. Well done. Good. Now you're going to roll, lower your feet back down onto the floor one at a time. Double check your centers. And then roll yourself onto your side. Where we're going to start with the climb. Okay. So the knees are bent. Create a little arch by lifting that ribcage up and try to keep that arch there. Core muscles are up. And then we're going to start with bringing what we did in standing, the climb, and now on your side, up and down with that top knee. And then last one, have a little rest for those muscles around your hip. And then we're going to do opening up, slide that leg away, feet together, knees together. Make sure you're not hiking that hip up when that leg goes up into the air. Try to keep that pelvis in that same position. Try not to move your hand when your hand is on your hip. Slide that top hip down towards your feet so you keep hold of that little arch as well. Last one with this leg, this position, and relax those muscles around your hip again. Now next level, watch that space. Lift both of your feet up, centers are set, open up and close. And now, after this one, open up and slide that leg away into the air. And then last one. You do it in your own rhythm. And then relax those feet down, relax those muscles around your hip again. Now the next one, we're going to straighten out both of your legs. Watch that little space. Bring your top leg up, bring that knee up towards your chest, straighten that leg out and slide it behind you. Make sure you work those big stomach muscles truly well so that when you slide that leg behind you, you're not arching in that low back. You keep that pelvis in that same position, together with your hip. You can test yourself if you have one hand on your pelvis, one hand on your rib cage, and make sure that that distance doesn't change. One more time, knee up, and slide it behind you, well done, and rest that top leg. And now we're going to do both legs up, so make sure that position is there, your strength is there, top leg is up. Add your bottom leg and now bring that bottom leg up and down. Last one. Well done. And now have a little rest. And then the last one is a bit of a killer, so see how well you can do this one. It's the snap, so one leg up, bottom leg up, and then down, up, snap, and down. And now hold both of those legs away from the floor and circle that top leg. Going one way. Circle the other way around. Try to keep on going. Two more. Last one. And relax. Well done. Good. We're done on this side, so give yourself a little rest, and then we're going to change positions. Well, we're going to start with the clam. So your knees are pulled up. That little arch is created by lifting that rib cage up again. Core is up, belly button is tucked in, and first of all, just the clam, up and down. And then last one, have a little rest. Keep that pelvis in that same position, push that pelvis down towards your feet so you keep that little space there. And now we're going to do the clam and the sliding away in your own rhythm. If you want to do it with your breathing rhythm, pull your knee up, breathe out, feet together, breathing in when those knees come together. Breathe out when that leg goes away, breathe in when your knees come together. In your own rhythm again. Some like to do this one fast, some like to do it slow. Totally up to you. Now, as long as your pelvis stay in that same position and your core muscles stay lovely turned. Good. And then last one. And have a good rest for those muscles around your hip. Now watch that space while you lift both of your feet up, and we're going to do this the same. First just the clam. And then last one like this, and then open up, slide that leg away. And then breathe out when that leg goes away, breathe in when those knees come together again. And then last one. Well done. And have a little rest for those muscles around your hip again. Tough one on our sides, I think, today. So here we go. Both legs straight. Centers are set with that little space. Lift your top leg up and bring that top knee up. Straighten it out and slide it behind you. Again, you can do it with your hands on your pelvis and rib cage. Make sure that that's not getting bigger when that leg goes behind you. It stays in the same distance. Holding that pelvis in that same position. Keep on going if you can. Take a little break if you feel you need it at any time. Last one. Up with that knee towards your chest, straighten that leg out and slide it behind you. Well done. Have a little rest. Good. Now we're going to do the same, but now with the bottom leg. So top leg is up, bottom leg is up, and bring that bottom knee up and down. Just straight down. Don't have to slide it behind you. And then last one. Well done. Have a little rest with those muscles around your hip again. If you're doing this on a hot day, please make sure you have enough to drink in between. Just stop the video and have a little quick drink. For the last exercise on this side is lifting up one leg, add the other and lower them both down. Up, snap and down. While you hold again that pelvis in that middle position with that little space on your side. Check yourself a couple of times. And then hold both of your legs away from the floor and circle that top leg, going one way and then the other way around. And relax, well done. Good. Now roll yourself onto your back. So we're going to do a bit of stretching, first starting with pulling both of those knees into your chest. Have a lovely stretch. And then lower one leg down at a time. Grab your band. Let's stretch those muscles in the hamstrings first. So bend behind under your foot. Straighten that knee out, pull that leg up to you until you feel a good stretch. All the way from your hip towards your ankle. So make sure you relax in that ankle joint as well and let it stretch. And while you're doing this, roll your head gently from side to side. And then relax your head back in the middle position. And then ease off the stretch. Add the other leg, change sides. Pull that leg straight in, relaxing your ankle joint on this side and let it stretch. And now concentrate on a deep breath in and out. And then ease off the stretch. Well done. Put the band away and let's now stretch those muscles around your buttocks. So one ankle on top of the other knee. Pull that leg up until you feel a good stretch around your buttocks. Or sometimes it can go all the way up to your hamstring again. And let it stretch. And then change sides. Again, hold this stretch. Core muscles are still lovely toned. Around your core. And then relax this stretch. Well done. Now roll yourself onto your stomach where we're going to start with the swimming. So your forehead is on the towel. Both of your arms are overhead. Make sure your leg muscles, buttocks and trunk is lovely toned around your stomach and around your shoulders. Keep that pelvis, with all the exercise on your tummy, keep that pelvis in that middle position with that little space. We're going to start with your arms. Lift up one arm and down. Lift up the other arm and down. And make sure that you get that movement just from your shoulder joint. So not where you lift up one arm, that you're not moving that whole trunk around. Try to keep that in that same position, lovely turn, and get the movement just from your shoulders. Straight up, overhead, up towards the ceiling. And now add your opposite leg. But that pelvis stays still in that same position. Keep on going. Work on the muscles around your stomach and the position of that pelvis. And then last one. And then relax your arms and your legs for a little bit. We're now going to try to do that fast movement. If that's too much for your low back, please don't do it. Any of these exercises, no pain, you have to stop the exercise if you have get pain anywhere. So double check that position, your strength. Lift up one arm, add the other arm, lift up one leg, add the other leg, and go and do that fast movement. Really working those stomach muscles and go, keep on going, keep on going. Up and down with your legs, up and down with your arms, and relax. Well done. And here we go again. Let's see. Pelvis in that middle position, keep that space, lovely turned. When you're ready, lift up one arm, add the other arm, lift up one leg, add the other leg, and again, go, 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 go. Quick movements with arms and legs. Sorry, I can't see you all doing this one. I'd love to look at this one when we're doing it in the class. And relax. Well done. Good. Our next one is going to be the leg lift. So hands are now on either side of the towel. Double check that position of your pelvis. Lift up one leg. Bend in your knee. And now you're going to drop that ankle in and out. In and out. Again, when that leg goes in, make sure that pelvis doesn't come up. Keep that pelvis in that middle position. Keep those shoulders down on that rib cage while you lift that ankle to the outside and inside. Keep that thigh off the mat if you can. Good, and then one more time. In and last time out, and then lower that leg back down. Double check the position of your pelvis. Double check your turn. Lift up the other leg, bend in this knee, and then do the same on this side. Just from that hip joint, swing that ankle in and out. Turning all the muscles in that non-working leg and your trunk. So you can keep that pelvis in that middle position. Well done. One more time. In and out. And then straighten that leg out. Lower that leg back down. Good. Now, last exercise is going to be that hamstring pull. That's the one in 4 levels. We'll try to show you the 4th level, but I'm not good in that one. So your hands are now in between the mat and your pelvis. You're going to try not to dig into your fingers. So first level. Lift up one leg and down. Lift up the other leg and down without any digging into your fingertips, which are in between the mat and your pelvis. Good. Next level, if you are fine on this one, lift up one leg, bend in that knee, straighten that leg out into the air and lower it down. Same thing with the other leg. Lift, knee bend, leg straight and down. Lift, knee bend, leg straight and down. Keep on alternating. And please do stay in your own level. As soon as you feel that you start digging into your fingers, that means you're going to arch in that low back. So you don't want to do that. So stay, literally stay at your level. Good. Level 3 would be both legs up at the same time. If you can't do this, it's nothing that you're not strong enough around your core or around your stomach muscles, but it's just that that position of your hip joints are just not so flexible, or there's something with the position or the flexibility in your hips. Everybody's different, so readjust that pelvis sometimes. Double check if you're not still digging up into those fingertips. And then the 4th level is when you lift up both of your legs, bend in both of your knees, straighten your legs out in the air and lower them down. Make sure there's no pain in that low back. I'm definitely digging into my fingertips, not with the leg lifts, but when I start bending your knee, I am. Come on then, Sandy. Come on. Come, David, Mama. Come on then. Come on then. Oh, laying down by the... and then last one. Well done. So now bring yourself onto your hands and knees and stretch yourself out, forehead down towards the mat. And then last one, into sit, where you're gonna lean back a little bit, have your arms away, knees are bent, centers are set, and then lift those knees up and down, up and down. Last one, well done. Stretch yourself out in between your knees. And then if you want to continue with this one, that's great. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, arms away again from your body, centers are still set, lift those legs out, and now you're going to see if you can straighten those legs out and pull them back in. Out and back in. And then one more. Ooh, and relax, well done. And now again, stretch yourself out in between your shoulder blades. In between your knees. Too many times saying that shoulder blade position. And then ease off. And then slowly bring yourself up to standing. And then the last bit, so close your eyes. Have the weight right in the middle of both feet. Make sure those knees are still slightly bent. Pelvis is in your middle position. Your core muscles are up. Belly button is tucked in. Shoulders are together. Down towards your low back. That pitch and that string from the crown of your head are making you stand tall. Bring yourself up onto, arms up to the ceiling. Heels up and hold that balance. And then lower those heels back down, swing those arms down, come back up onto your toes. When you swing those arms down, make sure you bend your knees, keep that spine straight. Lower your heels back down, swing those arms down. And last time, arms up to the ceiling, onto your toes. And then lower your heels back down. Bring your hands now onto your ribcage. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. And relax. Well done. This was week 10. Can't believe it, but we're going to keep on going till next week for week 11. Bye bye.